What's up, Mo Vlogs? It's your girl Moel, and I'm back again with another video. And this video is going to be a cook with me. Today we are going to be cooking chicken Alfredo. I love doing cook with me's, just like a little add-on. I do like doing cook with me's, and I'm probably gonna make like a different intro for my cook with me's, just like options. Comment down below if I should do a different like intro for my cook with me's, because I do a lot of cook with me's, and I love cook with me's because I love cooking. So let's get started with this video and let's see how our chicken Alfredo will turn out. Alright guys, this is my first time doing a voiceover, so bear with me. But first thing I'm going to do is put salt in the water. Whoa. So a lot of salt in the water to start boiling it. Then I'm going to turn on the heat. I put it on high, medium. Then I'm going to cover the bottom of the pan in some olive oil. I use olive oil. I don't have a specific brand. Then after that, I'm going to put the chicken in the pan. I just start mixing it around in the chicken and started to cook it. Try to cook the chicken a little bit first before you start seasoning it, so when you take it out the pan you won't like drain the flavor out, basically. So it's not like you're not seasoning twice, because it will cook out sometimes. So season all together once when it's like halfway cooked. So I'm just going to give a good stir all around in the olive oil. Okay, so now I'm going to start my seasoning. First thing I'm going to pick up is Sazon. I love Sazon so much. Next, I'm going to use chicken bouillon. Generous amount of that. I love this stuff. I discovered it. I love it so much. After that, I'm going to use garlic powder. Just put some garlic powder. Don't be scared of it. Tabitha lover. After that, I'm using Himalayan paprika. Not regular paprika, Himalayan paprika. It makes a difference. After that, I'm going to be putting some Creole seasoning in there to give it another kick or type of hint, because it's Cajun. Next, I'm going to do some seasoned salt. Is it seasoned salt or seasonal? After that, I'm using black pepper. After that, I'm going to be using Himalayan pink salt. Now, everything I just put in had salt in it, so I'm just putting a little bit of salt so it's not salty, if y'all understand what I mean, because everything I put in had salt. Like the Sazon and the chicken bouillon and the seasoning salt, the Creole seasoning, all that has salt in it. So I didn't want to over season it with the salt, so I just put a little bit of Himalayan salt. Okay, guys. I'm trying my little chef flip. Oh, my God. Okay, so I let the chicken cook. So I let it brown. That's why the pan, you can say it probably looks burnt or something like that. But it's not. It's the flavor, okay? It's the flavor. So now it's done. I'm taking it off the heat, guys. I actually burned my hand right there. As you can tell, I kind of dropped the pan because the handle was over top of the flame that the water's boiling at. So, whew. But now I'm putting in the noodles into the pot. And it seemed like I'm struggling. Okay, there go the noodles. Giving them a nice little stir so they don't stick together in the pot. taking the chicken off the stove because I realized that I should probably let that pan soak in some water so I could clean it. Okay, guys, so it's time to start our Alfredo sauce, the whole thing we've been waiting for. But we got to start off with a roux. So I have to put a little bit of butter in there, about a tablespoon, just a little bit. And then you put some flour in there. Now, where I used to go wrong with this is that I just used to dump flour in there. But you honestly just need a tiny bit to make the butter and the flour like curdle together as one. So basically you would just see me here mixing in the flour and the butter and trying to make it all combine as one. You will still see that the butter is a little bit more melty on the other end, because last time I tried this, guys, I honestly made so much sauce because I made so much, I put so much flour into it that made it so super uber thick, and that just wasn't the way to go. So just a tiny bit at a time to melt in with the butter. Don't let it clump up really bad, basically. Okay, so now I'm putting whole milk in here. It could be 2%, just whatever milk you have. I had whole milk, so that's what I used. Next, I'm putting some whipping cream in there. Now, you could use whipping cream or you can do half and half. I had whipping cream, so that is what I used. So now I started to stir. Now, guys, about this, it takes a while to thicken up, and cheese makes it thicken up. So please don't be like, it still looks runny, it's still looking runny. Cheese will also help it thicken up. Make sure you try to dissolve this really good and keep stirring it, because when you stop, the butter will just sit there and the flour, and it's going to be at the bottom of the pan, and you just won't like that because it didn't dissolve. So please just try to stir it like periodically, and your flame does not need to be hot. It needs to be medium low, preferably low for this. All right, guys, so I remembered in class that we actually had to do this with a whisk to help dissolve it better because the air or whatever. But I did not have a whisk, so I used a fork because technically it's like the same thing. And I just moved really fast in it and just was trying to get some air into the Alfredo sauce to help dissolve the flour and the butter. So when you do this and you're trying to do this part, please use a whisk and not a spatula, because it will not have the same effect. Okay, guys, in this clip you will see me putting another pot of water on the stove. That's because I totally found broccoli in my freezer and it was like just a little bit, so I'm gonna put that in the Alfredo. Next, I'm just slowly moving it, trying to see if I dissolved it, the butter and the flour. It was some spots that still needed to be stirred out. That's why I said don't let it sit real long, because I did and I totally forgot, and there was still some spots. So just stir as much as possible to get most of the flour and butter to dissolve. Okay, so my water started boiling for my broccoli, so now I'm just putting the broccoli in the pot, making sure everything is in there. I'm about to start boiling that up. Okay, so now I'm going to start seasoning my Alfredo sauce. First thing I'm going to put in there is garlic powder. Next thing I'm going to put is Himalayan pink salt. I'm going to put a little more of that in the sauce than I did the chicken. Next, I'm going to do some black pepper. Then I'm going to do some Italian seasoning. What is Alfredo without Italian seasoning? So that's the whole point of the sauce. And then I'm going to give that a good little stir, good little mixture. And mix that all together. Make sure it's dissolving well. I ended up turning my heat down right here because it was really like boiling over. So I turned the heat down. Maybe you should do this on a medium heat. Here's me adding some more seasoning because I tasted the sauce. It was still a little bland, so I put more of everything I already did. And I put some Creole seasoning in there because I totally forgot. So then I put some Creole. And now I'm just still giving it a nice little stir once again. Okay, guys, so now it's time to start putting the cheese in here. I'm showing you this brand of cheese because this is my all-time favorite brand of cheese. It is very, very, very thick cut, and they have sliced cheeses as well. That's really good for grilled cheeses. So I just used the rest of this bag. It was like a half a bag left, and then I had to go to another bag of cheese eventually. But I used that whole bag, basically. Alright, so now I'm going to start giving it a nice little stir. Make sure I'm moving real slow. Well, I did adjust myself. But move a little slower because you can make a mess. And I believe I did make a mess eventually. This is me adding more cheese. And more cheese. And more cheese. Can never have enough cheese. And just give it a nice little stir. Oh my gosh, don't go this fast, guys, because I most definitely did make a mess eventually. Okay, guys, right here, I'm turning off the heat to my broccoli because I totally forgot they were there. And I had to drain them really quick because I didn't want them to be soft or mushy. So now I'm just showing you the texture of the sauce right now. I kind of like runny sauce, not even gonna lie. You know, I don't like that really, really thick Alfredo. I hate that. I hate when it's really thick. But that's just my preference. It's not everybody's. I adjusted it to my liking. If you want it thicker, just add more cheese or more flour. Next, I'm dumping the broccoli in. And also the chicken. And that one noodle. Let's not talk about it. And give it a nice little stir. And let it just simmer all in there. Okay, so my noodles are done. So now I've started to drain them and take them off the stove. And then I realized that it's way too much sauce in that pan to add noodles in. It would have overflowed, and then I wasn't going to feel like cleaning that up. So I just decided to add the Alfredo sauce to the bigger pan that the noodles were in. I'm sorry I didn't get a better shot of me pouring the sauce in, but that's just basically what I did. Okay, so now I'm looking at the sauce, and I made too much sauce for my noodle intake. So that's why y'all probably like, why does it look like so much sauce? That because it is a lot of sauce for my noodle intake. So when I ate leftovers, I basically just made more noodles to make up for the sauce. But other than that, that's fine. It was only 2 people, me and my mom, so I didn't want to make that much noodles, but I ended up making a lot of sauce. Alright guys, so the plate is done. And now I got a comment before that said, why didn't I taste my food on camera? So now I'm going to start doing that for y'all. Because he sound pretty angry. Guys, I just got Alfredo in my eye. Okay. It's hot. This is really good. Is it really good, Mom?
It's delicious.
If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye, Mo Vloggers.
Yuma on the beat was